Alright, you're watching this video, which means it's another time for some more Go fails. Again, I apologize for the noise on this one. My windows are still open, so sorry. You'll hear some traffic and cute little kids playing outside and having a grand old time while we suffer in here. Anyway, in this game, I am black. This was the 4th game of the US Open in 2019 Go Congress. And the fails today... man, they're, you know, I think the thing about these fails I'm trying to show you guys is that they tend to be very like middle game, like pivotal position kind of fails, which are so easy to screw up. And I'm sure you can all relate to them in your own games. But anyway, here we go. My opponent approached me in the top right, so I get to start off in 3 corners, so that's pretty cool. He can approach me in the bottom right, and we respond, and he plays this very loose pincer. I just come out and go do something else. This is fine. Like, this is, like, at least as far as the robots are concerned, this is beneficial to black. Basically, white invested 3 stones in taking a side, where black is really investing all his stones in the corners. I guess this stone is kind of invested in the corner, as is this one, but you get the point. It's better to invest, like, your stones will pay off more the more you invest in corners early on. So the robots kind of favor this. The beginning kind of goes like this for a while, and this is a very, not old pattern, I guess it came out of the 90s, early 2000s, you saw this type of pattern played a lot, although this is out of order, where white connects here, white tanukis to approach, and then after black responds, then you play this move. And this is a pretty potent pattern, because later on, white can just jump in here, or if you want to be a little bit more, I don't know if this is fancy or less fancy about it, but there's this option as well, basically to upset the black base, just depending on how much strength you have on the outside. It will determine which one you want to play. But yeah, this black corner is feeling very upset now. It's gotten approached on both sides, and you know, if I wanted to be super solid, I could just do this, take my cash. But playing here feels very passive compared to the indeterminate shapes we have at the top of the board. So I try to save that for later. Keep in mind, I never actually get to save that for later. White will get to play there first. This game gets violent. This is perhaps the most violent game I played this year at the Go Congress. There's gonna be a lot of dead stones at the end. Anyway, I take a double approach here, which does get this response, and I play the newest, hottest, greatest robot Joseki, which is this attachment and pull back kind of thing. And then I play this move, which is a move I'd never played before in actual game, but I've seen this in robot games, and then when I was in Youngasong earlier this year, in Song Huang liked this move and showed us a few variations. My opponent peeps from this side, which I thought was really weird. I was totally expecting something more on this side to help protect this cut. But yeah, this was an interesting move. I don't think it was good. I don't think it was a good exchange. But he kept trying to make it worthwhile. So I mean, black is no longer cut here. There is no cut. But white no longer has a cut to worry about. Black did get 2 extra stones here though that were both somewhat useful, right? Black is a lot stronger. So I'm pretty happy. All right, go fail time. You guys ready? You guys knew it was coming. I knew you guys were just waiting, because I'm winning this game right now. Like black is actually having a pretty easy game, especially if black has time to come back and play over here. This is just a really smooth sailing game for black. But white has a chance to upset the base of my group. Do note there is no cut here. It's just a capture race 4 against 2. Actually, it's really like 3 against 2, because white can take 1 away. But either way, black still wins. So there's no capturing race there. But after this move, there is a bunch of interesting things white can do to this cut. And what I should do is I should remember that white, even though white protected the cut, is still weak here, and I just have to make sure white remains weak. And instead, I just cower in fear. This is a very book move. Like this is the move that you play to make sure everything is super safe and settled and no one can ever hurt you ever. because if white goes on top, which is what happens in the game, I then play here, and now I'm so safe, and everything's connected, and happy, and strong, and I can do whatever I want, right? And I think I played this because I was feeling happy, right? I was like, okay, look, I'm fairly comfortable. Can I just have Sente and then come back and play over here? Or play over... Actually, at this point, I really want to play at the top again. Anyway, I just wanted to, like, okay, let's just settle it, and then I'll go do other things. That's terrible logic in Go. What should I have done? Basically, any move on these 3 points would have been great. A, B, or C. I play any of those, I focus on keeping these two groups separated, and I have a great game. Like, that's all I need to do for this not to be a failure. By protecting this cut point directly, I thought I was limiting white's Aji, but realistically, you know, if in the game I come back here, white can get this Atari, and all of a sudden this white group that was really weak before is now kind of out in the center of the board. So what was the game? Actually, sorry, I jumped there, and white Tanuki'd once to take the first move at the top. I threatened to cut through. This move itself is fine, but white counters, and then after white connects, I don't actually need to take this stone. Like, I know, it certainly feels like I do because it keeps white weak, but it's still just one stone in the opening. Now would be a good time to, you know, maybe come over here, mess with these two stones, or Tanuki down here and just solidify that. Any of those things are fine. So this is not a super go fail, but it's very slow, very slow. But at least I'm stronger now, sort of. White plays this move, which is a good move, but this is gonna get violent. I respond with a counter peep. And at the time, after I played it, I was really regretting this move. My opponent was playing really slowly, and I was using like no time on the clock. And I was also drinking coffee. I was drinking coffee during this game, and so maybe I was just like on a caffeinated, like, let's play stones, kind of go squirrel mode or something. But I did play this move kind of quickly, and in retrospect, I feel like I should have responded again down here first. It turns out that my opponent didn't respond to this correctly. The best way to respond to this peep is to actually attack it directly from you know, the edges. And my opponent totally didn't play that. Instead, he decided, no, that's not the move, to counterattack this way. And this doesn't quite work. I mean, it does something. It does work. It just doesn't, I don't think it did what he wanted it to do. He played this one, which is a very strong move. I had actually read out the sequence for this. After the game, we talked about this, and I was like, well, I think this is better for you. And, you know, it kind of goes something like this. If we have to take all these Ataris, I have to kind of live small here, but it looks like I have a pretty good attack on the stick. So, you know, it seems playable. But in the game, it's worse for white, or I don't know. White's both better and worse. I feel like white has to be worse. Even though white gets to capture more stones, I get to actually just capture these three directly. So I don't know. Yeah, this felt better for me. I was pretty happy at this point. I was pretty happy to net these three stones. Black gets out. I make some exchanges here. This is a pretty interesting fight we have. We just start a fight like right here on top of these stones. I figure there's no way this can be bad for me. I have a pretty relatively strong group. I'm still just trying to tidy up the shapes. Plus, the white stick is still kind of weak. And after I get this Hane, I'm feeling real comfortable. This is forcing, connect. White finds time to get this move in. White also takes time to get this move in. And at this point, I take this peep. This peep is fine. But this is another go fail. Right here. I have the option to really just tidy up the whole center of the board. And I don't take it. I kind of put my foot on the gas a little bit too hard here. Because I'm still like, you know what? This white stick, I haven't profited enough from it. Even though I got to capture these three stones, I give up actually a fair bit of side territory. You know, we'll say 6 to maybe even 8 points, depending on who gets the next move. to capture 3 stones. And it's like, I got to keep my foot on the gas. Like, there's no way I can let this slide. White got this one and this one. This was kind of upsetting me. I kind of thought these were Miai, but they're really not. They're really not Miai. So, yeah. What I did was foot on the gas. Let's keep white surrounded. And what I should have done is just played this very nice, reasonable, let's just capture the 2 stones. White will have to run out, and then I can go do whatever I want. I can sort of take Sente. Yeah, so this is a little bit of a go fail. If I do it this way, not only are these 2 stones captured, like, this group I never have to worry about again, like in the history of Go, like it's just solid. This group theoretically is fine, though there is eventually a possibility of not getting any eyes down here, and because this is a 3-stone capture, white can poke it down to 1 eye. Very, very unlikely, but possible, so it's still pretty strong. Corner is definitely weakened by these 2 stones, but the corner is still alive. These 3 are kind of weak, and these 2 are kind of weak, so I'll definitely want to manage them. They're both. The thing is, like, white can't really like kill them, right? They're both manageable, but I'm not getting any large territory here. The nice thing is white doesn't really have any large territory either, so I don't know. This would have just been a very patient move. Like, black is solidly ahead, has no problems or no serious problems. This formation for white is actually overextended, and so black can come in here and break this up at any time. So yeah, it's a game, but black is very comfortable. Instead, foot on the gas, and it's go time. Robot says just blocking is better, which is probably true, and I should just give up the stone here. If anybody asks, I should just do that, or something like it. Oh, actually, that doesn't quite work, does it? Oh, it's really interesting, actually. It's really interesting. I didn't realize how interesting this was, because this extension threatens to connect. Oh, or I could play this way, right? Threaten to capture, and then come out this way too. Oh yeah, so this is really interesting, that cut. I didn't do it. Oh man, I'm starting to sound like Dwyron. It's like, I didn't do it. Okay, it's okay. I don't know. I need to work on my Dwyron impression next time. We'll do a better one for you guys. All right, anyway, run some stones out. I'm just looking for some free stuff. I play here. We make this exchange. And I'm still winning this game, right? The robots still like black, even though this black outside looks real thin. And black doesn't really have very many points. You know, white doesn't have any real points either, and the largest white territory can be broken up, right? So we're looking at maybe like 10 points over here. This is still invadable, so I mean, we're looking at 10 points here. The corner right now is still small. Whoever gets there first will get another, 6 points. So 6, 10, 10, 3? I don't know. So what does that equal? Plus Comey? 6, 10, 10? I don't know. 36, like 36-ish. Assuming, black wants to spend a move over here. And granted, black doesn't have 36 points on the board. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't really know why they're... it just feels good to be black. That was a big truck too. All right, but this move, we're ready for another go fail. And this is the type of move that it seems like, oh, let's just play the easy, super easy, obvious one. I just need 2 eyes for this group, right? That's what white is threatening to capture or to connect up with this stone. I can just make guaranteed 2 eyes and make sure you can't connect with this move. Isn't that a nice looking move? No, this is wrong. This is a go failure. When you play Go, you have to use the resources available to you. And I spent a move a long time ago to take this stone. And do you notice how I still don't really have an eye here? Like white can actually falsify it? Well, white can't falsify it if I play this move. And so this guarantees an eye here. If white saves the stone, which white really can't do very easily or at all, I'm also guaranteed another eye over here. So I'm just perfectly alive. And because I'm leaning on this stone, I can capture this later, and that's actually a really big value for both reducing white's eye space as well as just points. So this is the move. By keeping white from getting an easy 2 eyes, keeping myself with 2 eyes, and even if white does find 2 eyes, I get profit. Like this is the perfect move. And so the robot, I was shocked, right? When I put this game into a robot and the robot said, no, this is so wrong. Like it wasn't even on my radar. And I think it was it was like a 35% swing or something ridiculous. As simple as that. Isn't that amazing? So this is a pretty big go fail. To the point, it's such a big fail to the point now where white is now winning this game. White's gonna push through. This is a very exciting fight. Somewhere in here, again, my opponent had been using like way more time than I had. And so there was something like 30 extra minutes on the clock. And I'm getting hungry, so I just tell my opponent I'm gonna be back in a while. And at some move in here, I just go eat lunch and then come back. And then we're about even on time again. Because I've been using so little of my time. But man, does this fight just get violent. We're just taking Ataris. There's so many cuts. Once we get a few more stones down here, again, I could nothing here is a real failure. Like these are all moves that are valid, playable. I'll show you the first really big failure kind of move. It's coming up. It's coming up. This one, all right, not this one. This one's actually okay. It's white's failure. After all this, let's see how many weak groups there are. Technically right now, I mean, I don't think we can call the corner weak after white connects. So maybe that one shouldn't count. But the corner is still not quite settled. So that's a little weak. Can I kill it? I should. I read it out during the game and I don't actually remember what the result was. It looks like Sibicky. So actually maybe this isn't, is it really Sibicky? What if I descend? It's either Sibicky or Ko. Okay. Not worry about it. All right, let's not count that as a weak group then. These two stones, yes. This group, yes, 2. This stick, yes, 3. This clump, 4. This stick, 5. And then this, once white connects, again, this black stick here for 6. So we got this fight with 6 weak groups minimum. And it's hard to figure out. White tries to short the liberties on the center one, right? Does not finish this corner, and instead, I think we have people trying to get in the house. Instead, anyway, white. What does white do? When white plays here, this is pretty reasonable. It looks like this can be really short on liberties. And it looks like we're playing in between we're going to give up 1 weak group to save 2 other weak groups. So this like makes sense conceptually. The problem is that both sides of white here are too weak to actually pull this off. In other words, once black plays here, which is what happens in the game, we can see this white group really has only 4 liberties. This white group only has 3. And it's really not that hard for black to at least manage for a little while. We just you know, look at this, like this move like here, right? We just short a liberty while gaining 1 liberty for ourselves. We're starting to really expose that cut point. White tries this. Again, white can't cut because of the weakness here. So black can play strongly. Same thing applies here. Black can still play strongly. White tries to just short the liberties while there's an opportunity. But again, there's just not enough liberties here. And even after this move, right, black has this throw in and this. And look at this giant clump of white stones. Black just makes some shape. Now has to fix after this fix. That's a little sad, but it's okay. I don't remember how long this game record goes. Here, we'll just fast forward through here. In short, this should end up being Sibicky between this group and this group, but white tries a little bit too hard to short the liberties or gain an eye or I don't know what. But essentially black's able to make an eye on the inside, and now all this is dead. White keeps trying to fight, taking advantage of these cuts over here and attack this, but doesn't really go anywhere. And then white's last chance is to try to upset this base, but then I just get strong out here and actually kill the whole clump, so that white sort of live and then kill this. So in the end, this, even though I had some definitive go failures, all right, this triangular connection, if you remember way back, being the one that like keeps me up at night. But then this awesome one here, when I played this little eye making move instead of this eye making move, huge difference, just huge difference. Man, it's you know, chaos theory, right? These little tiny changes cause these giant swings, and in terms of what you're able to do on a go board. Those really exhibited, you know, by moves like this, right? They both kind of do the same thing, but oh man, does one have a much better interaction with killing the corner, where this one really doesn't. And they both make 2 eyes for me, so I can play either one. So anyway, again, like I said, we played out the game. This was, you know, despite those go fails of mine, I'm happy to say I did get to win this game, so that felt really good. And it was just such a violent fighting game, right? If you, I kind of bulldozed through all these cuts in the center wall that were just those 6 weak groups. But yeah, each move was kind of excruciating to manage. There are some cool shape things in there that I really skipped over that I figured out during the game. For instance, I'll show you one that I thought was cool. Like here, I really want to play this move. But this move has a huge problem. I can't remember the problem right now off the top of my head. What is the problem? Was it here? Was it the wedge? It doesn't seem like that's a problem. It doesn't feel like that's a problem. All right, here's your go homework. There was a reason why I didn't play this move. It's a shape thing that makes white suck. See if you can figure it out. All right, anyway, that was the 3rd installment of Go Fails. I hope you guys are enjoying these. And yeah, thanks for watching.